Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell Emem that man just need a place to stay? This was by far the best episode yet. And it is the very last one. Married at First Sight, y'all get on my nerves. Y'all dragged this whole thing out, gave us fluff and filler episodes, and then it all comes together on the last episode. And guess what? I'm here for it. My name is Mo. This is at Mo Perspective, also your average logical thinker. Thank you for being here. If you like what you see and what you hear, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts as I judge these people. We got Brandon into the fold, so that's just more people for me to judge. Listen. Where do I begin? It was just so much. Just with Emem and this man, Brandon, just so much. Look at here. If I wasn't good enough for you in middle school, if I wasn't good enough in high school, college, after college, grad school, fire department, I'm not good enough for you now. Now that you sleeping on your sister's sofa, I'm looking more appetizing to you. Emem, you got to recognize the user. Listen, see, I done been down this road before. I've learned a time or two, okay? I now know what a user looks like, and they do exactly what Brandon is doing. Love Baba. Do y'all see him? Look at them in the background. They over at Thomas's birthday, and they in the background. He licking stuff off of her like, you doing too much. He's laying it on too thick. Everybody can see. Everybody but you, Emem. Or maybe she does, and she don't care. But I think for the very first time, and I'll probably only say this one time, for the very first time, I am on Ikechi's side. I think Ikechi is on to something. Like I said in my last video, is it possible that behind the scenes, off camera, Emem is a hellion? It is quite possible, y'all. Emem, it's showing desperation, darling. This man proposed to you in the burger joint. After Rafiu, I said, oh, yes, somebody with some common sense, finally, yes, come on the show, because I ain't talking about the experts. I'm talking about Rafiu. Come through, brother. Rafiu comes through. Rafiu is mind-blowing. He's like, listen, I was literally just here 30 days ago with a whole new man. Who are you? Why are you here? Rafiu, I think Rafiu's wheels were turning. He finally realized my cousin ain't really got it all. This bitch is desperate. She'll take anybody. I think Rafiu said, you know what? I'm good. Do you. Because how are we already here and you are literally still legally married? I'm sitting up here defending you, showing these men that you got somebody in your life that cares enough about you to stand up for you and to defend you and to be there for you. And here you go with a whole new man. 30 days later. What are we doing, Emem? Like, seriously. This is actually kind of embarrassing. I'm pretty sure she meant, what city are you living in? Are you still local? This man said, I'm on my sister's couch right now. He said, F all the dumb talk, F all of the pleasantries, F all of the small talk. I'm on my sister's couch right now. Are we going to be together or not? Because I need somewhere to stay. He finally proposes again at the jewelry store. That was a nice ring, okay? Because he didn't have a ring the first time. No, you should have did it right the first time, bruh. Everything about it is just wrong and comical, and it just gives us something to talk about. But do we think Emem and Brandon will make it? What do you think? Magic 8 Ball? No! You know, the show was spicy and the show was good. But did it feel like it was the David and Madison show? I mean, after every single scene with every other couple, they would pan back to Madison and David. Every time. I was like, I am tired of seeing these fools. And every time they had to make sure they got a nice, sloppy, wet, juicy kiss in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm irritated because I ain't got nobody to sloppy, juicy, kissy, wet. I don't know. But it irritated out of me. It really did. I said, is this necessary? Is this overkill? Are they doing this to irritate the viewers? Do they not like Michelle like that? That's what I'm getting at. I feel like they really don't like Michelle Allen. They must not like Michelle and Allen like that, because for them to pan to them every other scene, I was like, what is really going on here? What is like was this meant to be this? Like, did they do this on purpose? Like, did the producers foreshadow this happening? Did they set the couples up this way in order for this to happen? Because that's what it's starting to look like. It's looking like the David and Madison show. And then for them to sit there and be having the conversations with each other that they should have been having with their spouses was ridiculous. That was like a huge slap in the face. And Alan clocked it at Thomas's birthday party. He was like, wait, so you guys are actually having discussions about having good communication and coming to each other when you have a problem, when y'all could have been doing that in your marriages. Are you serious right now? And don't get me started on Madison's daddy. Like, that man does not hold his daughter accountable for shit. How do you do that? They always say, oh, you need fathers in the home. Yeah, but we need good fathers in the homes. I don't know how Madison has survived all this time with the influence that she has, because, I mean, should you back your kids? Should you have their back? Should you, support them and things that they're doing? Absolutely. But at the same time, you have to give them solid, sound advice that's going to be for the betterment of them, not condoning their BS. Her father totally condoned her BS, and I was just like, wow. Something weird about that guy anyway. Something ain't right. I don't know. The daddy, is he her biological stepdaddy or a stepdaddy? I'm trying to figure out. And do you notice nobody in David's family has filmed with him since he broke it off with Michelle and has been with Madison? I have a feeling that David's mama and daddy aren't really happy with the way things turned out, or at least the way he behaved on the show. And that's probably why they won't film with him, especially after that debacle, bringing the cousin in with the Chinese food gate. I don't know. Text message. Can they survive? Will they survive? Who knows? It's the way they went about it that was wrong. If they had sat their spouses down earlier and just had a real heart-to-heart and just said, look, this ain't working. I think I like somebody else. And then they both exited the show, and then behind the scenes started dating. And then at the reunion, hey, I think things probably would have turned out, but it was much more salacious and so much more entertaining the way they did it on this show. It kept us, on edge. It kept us on the edge of our seats. It kept us coming back watching the show, because I promise you it was boring without this whole saga going on, right? So it made for good TV, but at what expense? Alan says that he's moved on, and that, he's learning more about himself, and he's learning more about women as he dates and things like that. And I like that for him. Sometimes things like this have to happen in order for us to grow. I don't know if Michelle will be better for it. I feel like Michelle is going to make whoever she gets with next life a living hell. She is going to make the next man that she gets with, she going to make his life a living hell. Michelle ain't grown. Michelle ain't learned nothing. All Michelle sees is herself as a victim the whole time. And she needs to take a more progressive approach like Alan is in moving on. Again, she keeps showing them that she cares. Couldn't be me. I couldn't be up in there letting them know that I am so irritated at seeing you. Like, why? I understand being in that situation. It does suck, and kind of feeling like you're being forced to watch them interact and kiss on each other, and how they're just growing, and David and Madison are just growing and loving on each other. And she's just like the whole time. And I think she effed up. She really should have gave David a chance. That's where she messed up. She should have given David a chance, and she should have, at least, if nothing else, not been such a B to him. I do believe this is her karma for the way she treated him. I really do. And I don't think she's learned a lesson. But I think Alan has gained some insight on who he is, and how he can move forward dealing with women, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a nice guy, but I think when the signs are there, when the person's actions clearly show you they're not into you, that's what you should be paying attention to, Alan. Pay attention to the signs. She was showing you every single episode. You said the woman's body would cringe and tense up if it even looked like you wanted to touch her. That was a sign. You don't continue moving forward and bearing all of your soul to a person that cringes when you approach them. Just like Emem, desperation. You're doing too much. And so, this had to happen. The universe had to show you this is what happens when you're too nice, and when you ignore blaring red flags. You get your heart broke, and you get embarrassed on national TV. And so I think Ellen is going to be a better person for it. What do you think? Yes. Will Michelle finally find a man and live happily ever after? Maybe. But most likely not. Listen, Carla said, Juancho, you effed up. You effed up, Juancho. This could have been all yours. She said, I'm living for me. I just want to focus on the future. I didn't come to Married at First Sight to find a friend. I came here to find a husband to be married. I didn't come here for friendship. Juan's talking about maybe we can meet for coffee. Maybe we can hang out. You became my best friend. Yeah, but I didn't come here for friendship, sir. I came here for a husband. What do I look like divorcing you and then still meeting with you for coffee and to be that friend and that support? I don't think so. Carla is like me. When I'm done, I'm done. Yeah, so I don't blame Carla. She said, don't think you're going to benefit off of the likes of me, of all of this or whatever. And you decided you didn't want this. You didn't try. You didn't try to build an intimacy or an intimate connection with me. You just wanted friendship. And I didn't come here for that. So it is what it is. I think Juan and Carla will both move on to find who belongs to them, because they seem to be genuinely good people. They're not messy. They're not really, they're they're on their own. They have their own lane and their own way of doing things, and I can appreciate the two of them. They just both were pretty much unproblematic this whole time for the most part. Do we see good things in the future for them? Indeed. Let's see. Oh, Camille and Thomas. Yeah, Camille and Thomas, they're finally on the same page. They've moved in together. She moved into his place, and she finally pulled out that linger. Yes, child, Camille finally pulled out that lingerie, y'all. She about to put it on Thomas, okay, because he's stepping up. She moved into his place. And I can appreciate a nice little humble abode. You know what I'm saying? But Camille is going to come in there. She's going to do wonders in that place. Hopefully they will pack their things up and move into a mutual spot that'll benefit both of them. But I see nothing but good stuff for them. I think Thomas is going to start to step it up. And I think as long as Camille is reciprocating that one thing that Thomas asked for, and she's actually putting it on him and not just receiving, I think Thomas is going to pay all the bills. You know what I'm saying? But Camille, you got to keep it up. You got to keep it up. And Thomas, you're going to keep giving. You're going to continue to get those things out of Camille as long as you are stepping up, leading in the household. And when she needs you to make a firm decision, stand on it. That's it. Ain't nothing worse than an indecisive man. I can't tell you, that is one of my biggest turnoffs. So I think as long as they're both satisfying each other, this could be a very, very healthy thing. Now on the cliffhanger, they got us with that teaser for the reunion, and they want to make it seem like Thomas and Camille ain't together. I hope and pray that Thomas and Camille was able to work through whatever they got going on. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that, once the camera stop rolling and real life starts to take place, and then you're really like, okay, I'm really in this with this person, things can be a little bit different. So I'm hoping for the best for all of them, even Madison and David. Like, if that's what it's meant to be, then make the best of it. But I have a feeling that when all of the thrill is gone, when all the cameras are gone, when people are no longer talking about you and wishing the worst for you, your incentive for staying together kind of goes away, and it's just not as exciting. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I know for a fact that Emem and old boy ain't together no more. It can't last. None of it makes sense. I forgot. Is Thomas and Camille gonna make it? Well, according to the teaser, maybe not, but I think so. But we're going to see, you know what I'm saying? Drop down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this last episode and what you think is to come on the reunion. Do you think that Madison and David are still together? It's possible. Sometimes bad things happen and people tend to make the best of it, and it turns out to be what was best. But do I think that even if David and Madison end up staying together, is it going to be easy? Is it going to be smooth? Is it going to be just easy? No, because of the way they got together. I personally don't wish them the best, but if they can build something beautiful and can be good people for each other and for others in the world, then why not? But we're going to see. I can't wait for the reunion. We're going to see what happens, and I'll be back then.